You remember those days? It's a Saturday morning, you just woke up, you go into the kitchen and get a bowl of cereal, and then it's time to watch some cartoons. Well, in this video, we're going to be talking about some of the top 12 cartoons from the 2000s. Starting at number 12, The American Dragon. It follows Jake Long being the American Dragon, training with his grandpa so that he's able to protect the community of creatures in his city.
I did it! Check me out! I'm the American Dragon!
What I liked about the show was seeing the different stuff that Jake got into, visiting the different places, the fights, the funny moments, and there were a lot of them, and the different characters and their personalities. Arriving at number 11, almost everyone checked this show out when it came on TV, and that is Kim Possible. The show focuses on the life of Kim Possible, a high school student who's also a crime fighter, alongside with their friend and sidekick Ron Stoppable and his pet mole rat Rufus. While not in school, they work to keep Middleton safe. I like the personalities and the team aspect of the show. Kim is confident, bright and cheerful, and serious and focused when need be. And Ron, on the other hand, is more of the goofy, upbeat, comedic relief character. But it balances out and makes them a good team.
We'll meet again, Ferret.
So, who are you supposed to be?
Just think of me as a friend.
Also, the missions that they go on are good, and it's interesting at times to see the different ways that they're able to figure out how to get out of certain situations. For number 10 is Danny Phantom. This is an exciting show to watch. It's about a boy named Danny Fenton who accidentally got turned into a ghost, using his abilities to help out around the city. Also, his parents are ghost hunters, so you already know he's going to have to avoid them to an extent. Seeing this show for the first time was just cool to watch. Like, he has the ability to turn into a ghost, he has powers, he's fighting other ghosts, and we get to see him go into the ghost zone. Plus, he has to deal with everything in his normal life as well. At number 9 is Jackie Chan Adventures. Jackie Chan getting his own cartoon was the right move. In the show, he's an archaeologist and a martial artist fighting evil forces and hunting for powerful artifacts with his uncle and niece Jade. The characters really shine in the show. The uncle is pretty funny. He always has like this sort of catchphrase saying one more thing.
One more thing. What happened to you? You lost that match so fast and he gave you such a whooping.
I know! He was strong!
And for Jade, she's more like the happy-go-lucky character. I like how her and Jackie work together. Jackie is a little more the cautious type, while Jade is a little more impulsive, but it works out for them to get the job done looking for the artifacts, and it doesn't get boring seeing all of them on their adventures.
Save number 2. I rule.
Yes, and from now on, I drive.
For number 8, X-Men Evolution. From what I've seen online, it's said that the series takes inspiration from the early issues of the source material and follows the X-Men as teenagers rather than adults. I thought this was an interesting take on things being different with them being in high school, seeing how some of them were introduced and brought in, and the things that each character had to deal with. Like later on in the series, they have a moment that in a way is kinda realistic, with it being revealed that they are mutants and seeing how all the adults and their classmates react to that. At number 7, quite a few people forget about this show and many remember it and really enjoyed it, and that is As Told by Ginger. First off, the theme song in this show is so catchy when you hear it. Macy Gray did a good job singing that song. When you watch As Told by Ginger, it kind of reminds you of the times back then in the 2000s and the shows that were around that time. The show to a point was relatable with how some of the characters acted and the topics that were in some of the episodes, and every once in a while they may throw in some positive advice that was good to hear. I don't think a lot of people got to check this cartoon out back then, but it really is a good show. If you haven't seen this cartoon, it is a good one to watch. At number 6, this is a cartoon that it would have been nice if it got another season or two, the original Teen Titans. The show focused on the heroes Robin, Starfire, Raven, Beast Boy, and Cyborg. The show really delivered as you watched. They had comedy, action, and some serious moments. They even had their own fair share of enemies to go against too, so you know they was pretty busy. There were so many different characters that popped up in moments, like Raven's father popped up, Slade, Starfire's sister, Robin even took on an identity called Red X, and then somebody else took on that identity as well.
Red X? I thought Robin was Red X.
Think again. Titans, go!
With a lot of shows coming back, maybe in the future, possibly, we could see another season for this show. Coming in at number 5 is the original Ben 10. The show was just great. It follows Ben, Gwen, and their grandpa Max. Ben ends up finding a watch called the Omnitrix, which has different aliens inside of it. And from then on, they run into different kinds of enemies fighting them, and over time, Ben starts to learn more about the Omnitrix. It was so cool to see a cartoon where a character has a watch that has different types of aliens in it that he could turn into. Also, it was nice to see the family aspect in the show. Sure, Ben and Gwen annoy each other here and there, but they do care about each other and look out for each other. And of course, Grandpa Max is always going to be there for them, making sure that they are safe. At number 4, this cartoon right here, many have seen before, even probably from it making a comeback in 2017 to finish out the story, and that is Samurai Jack. The character Samurai Jack is flung into the future by the main villain Aku, which means Jack is on a mission to make it back home while also trying to defeat Aku. Besides the good story, the fights in this show were great. Whether he was fighting one opponent or multiple, some of the situations it'd be like, how did he get out of that? But overall, it's an interesting watch if you haven't checked this show out before. For number 3, I was late to watch this show, but The Spectacular Spider-Man is a good cartoon to check out if you're a fan of Spider-Man or not and you just want a cartoon to watch. I think with most Spider-Man stories, you kind of know what you're going to get. It follows the life of Peter Parker and him being Spider-Man trying to juggle everything. In this version, I like how they showcase some of the emotions in the different scenes, like when the symbiote attached to Peter and you start to see how his personality is changing and how he's treating everyone around him. Also in this version, I think Black Cat's father is the one who took out Uncle Ben, and you can tell it's starting to bother Peter when she tries to break him out. Overall, good show and well written. It would have been nice if it was able to get some more seasons. We're getting close to the end of the video, and if you made it this far, thank you. At number 2, another show that I think doesn't get enough credit. Some have seen this show, others may not have, and also heard of the character at all, and that is Static Shock. The show is about the hero Static Shock, who has electricity-based powers, who fights crime with the help of his friend Richie. The show talked about a variety of topics that probably hold up to this day: emotional moments, good characters, and story. One of the episodes that stood out was Static Shock going back in time trying to save his mom. They did crossovers with the DC characters, and also they had a lot of guest stars.
Kids, I'd like you to meet an old friend of mine, Shaquille O'Neal.
Huh?
Coming in at number 1, that might be one of the most popular cartoons, is Avatar The Last Airbender. The world at a time did have peace until the Fire Nation attacked. The character Aang, who is the Avatar, has to restore balance to the world. There is so much that I could say about this show: the animation, the fights, seeing everyone that they meet use the elements, whether it was water, fire, or earth, and some had their own unique way of using it. The character development for them from the beginning is different from when the show ends. They still are them to an extent, but they have grown through everything that they've been through. And also throughout the show, you will notice that it has some positive advice in it as well. Not gonna front, this was a hard video to do. There were so many cartoons to choose from. I might have to even do a part 2, but y'all let me know in the comment section down below, what are your top 10 cartoons from the 2000s. Thank you all for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.